Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mitchell. Hey, in today's video, I want to talk about what do you do when life gets tough. Unfortunately, this is my second time having to film this video because my memory card ran out of data. So hopefully, the things I'm going to talk about are going to be relatively the same. However, I feel like I'm really qualified to be talking about this. I am a 29-year-old man that is in a wheelchair, so I'm permanently in a wheelchair, and I'll talk about my injury in a second. But that alone I think gives me the qualification to talk about what do you do when your life just fucking sucks. And so with that being said, my injury is C5 through 7 if you know anything about spinal cords. If not, you can Google it. I am technically a quadriplegic, so like I'm left-handed. Thankfully, I can use my right hand. I just can't use like these tips. I can't use my like I can't make a fist with this hand, okay? And then my main injury is going to be T2 complete. So anything below my stomach I can't use or feel, which is very difficult for me because I used to be a bodybuilder and powerlifter, so I've always had like a nice body. Now I've got like a dad bod because the longer I'm in a wheelchair, the weaker my stomach gets, and it's just I feel like I look fat even though I might not really be. So, with that being said then, what do you do when life gets tough? I'm going to go ahead and open this video with the statement that I think everybody needs to hear, whether you want to hear it or not, whether you want to agree with this or not. I have found this to be true, and any successful person out there will tell you this. Nobody fucking cares about how you feel. They only care about themselves. Okay, I make jokes as in like, well, the only person that really cares about you would be like Tony Robbins. But for the most part, you got to understand that at the end of the day, okay, so if you look at the end of the day, people have to worry about themselves. So if you look at like relationships, for example, you might be with somebody right now that really loves and cares about you, but 6 months down the road, they might break up with you. So at the end of the day, they're not going to be there for you, even if they tell you the best thing that's ever happened to them. Right? The only exception would be like if you're your parents, for example. Your parents are always going to be there for you. Your family, blood related. That's likely never going to go away. Now there are people with like really terrible families that might not talk to them, but for the most part, that would be an exception of somebody that might always be there. But friends, family, relationships. At the end of the day, nobody fucking cares about how you feel. It's that people are very selfish. Okay. So if we understand that to be true, if everyone's selfish and nobody cares about how you feel, that's what I want to talk about in this video is what do you do then if you have to rely on yourself to make things better? So, being in a wheelchair, right? If you look back at when I was in a wheelchair, I was 22, I got hit, I turned 23, I woke up in ICU, so I was in surgery for a week. I was in the wheelchair I was in the hospital for 4 months. I was in a power chair first, and then I am now in a manual chair. But back then, when I got out of the hospital, I lived with my mom. I lived with my mom and stepped out of my family at the time. I could barely do anything by myself. I couldn't drive myself. Like my mom bought me this van ahead of time, and I was like, I am absolutely not going to use that. God forbid, I'm already in a wheelchair. Why would I want to drive around in a handicap accessible van? Can you imagine a guy trying to like go out on a date, like, hey, yeah, babe, let me go ahead and get in my car. Let me roll down the wheelchair ramp for you. Now, for the people out there that do have to do that, if you're in that situation, you have no other choice. Then I'm not making fun of you. I just think, yeah, for me, I didn't want that reality to be my reality. So back then, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you my life now, and you're going to see the big difference. Okay, so back then I was in my parents' house. I couldn't do anything on my own. If I had to go to the gym, I had my mom take me or my friends come and get me. And then fast forward, I eventually got my first car. That was a 2019 BMW 3 Series. Fast forward a couple years, 6 years later, I'm 29 now. I have a long-haired European German Shepherd that's mine. He's 2 right now. I have a brand new 2022 Mercedes-Benz E-Class. I live in a brand new 2,400 square foot house. It's just me. I don't have help. Nobody comes over. I don't have at the time of filming this, no girlfriend. So the only help I get is if I call and pay for somebody, like if I need like cleaning services or whatnot. And that's because I have to rely on myself at the end of the day, right? I've been in relationships while being in a wheelchair, and obviously I just told you I'm single now. So that alone should prove that just because someone comes into your life doesn't mean they're going to stay there. And so I do not want to get roommates, or I don't want to live with somebody. Now, I lived with my last girlfriend, but I don't want to, like, being on my own forces me to learn how to adapt to my situation. So not only, okay, so let's talk about things. It doesn't have to be physical related. It could be physical, mental, emotional. It could be you lost a job. It could be that your car broke down and you can't afford to fix it. Or it could be that you got broken up with, or your business failed. It doesn't matter, bro. If your life sucks right now, you have to understand that at the end of the day, the only one who's going to make this better is yourself. You have to participate in your own rescue. So if your life sucks, you got to do something about that. And this is where me having like a growth mindset really comes in. And I really encourage you to adopt this too. I don't understand how people who have like that fucking, I hate this so much, okay? That whole like, poor me, I'm a victim mindset. Oh my God, she broke up with me. It's the end of the world. I'm never going to get another girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. I can't stand that, man. Yeah, if she broke up with you, bro, that fucking hurts. Heartbreak is the worst feeling in the world, but men and women are replaceable. Okay, that's the reality of it. So yeah, in the future, she might come back, she might not. But there's somebody else out there that's going to love you just as much as she did, or if not better. Now, in a situation like that, if you got broken up with, and that's your current reality, the reality that you're refusing to accept is she no longer wants to be with you. In order to get over that and to move past that, and again, to participate in your own rescue, the first thing you want to do is allow yourself to feel those emotions. It's going to hurt, man. It's going to hurt. Like, if you are sad, cry it out, bro. Don't be ashamed to cry it out. If you're angry, fucking scream, punch a pillow, go break something. Just do it by yourself, okay? Allow yourself to experience that. It's from a psychotherapist point of view, and I'm not a psychotherapist, but I am a marketer who works for myself, so I have to study human behavior and how we think. So I've got books on this stuff right here. But the way the body processes trauma, so if you've been cheated on, if you've been broken up with, if your parents left you, it doesn't matter, trauma, if you've been physically or emotionally abused, the way your body processes trauma is by allowing yourself to feel that pain. Once you feel that pain, it's going to suck for like 10, 20, 30 minutes, and then you're going to find out that you're going to all of a sudden start feeling better. You're going to be like, wow, that was awful, but I feel fucking great right now. That's where you want to get to. Okay? That's the more you allow yourself to do that, the more you're going to leave the past in the past. All right? People, we look at the past. Okay, let me explain this again. We look at the present and the future based on what happened in the past. So if you don't allow yourself to get over and to fight through that trauma, or maybe that's not the word, but if you don't allow yourself to grieve or to process the trauma that you just went through, your reality is always going to be around the trauma you had in the past. So if you got cheated on and you didn't find a way to get over that by being, if you didn't find a way to get over that, you're going to bring that trauma of not trusting people into your next relationship. And that's going to cause like a perfectly good girl to want to leave you because she might not be doing anything wrong, but you think she's out there fucking other guys, and she's not. You might be the only dude she talks to, but because you didn't allow yourself to heal from that experience, right? Because you're not participating in your own rescue, you're being stuck in the past. So, in order to get through life, and what do you do when life gets tough? Then allow yourself to feel that. Allow yourself to experience that. From there. Okay, so we're going through a grieving process right now. Every single human who experiences loss of some sort has to go through this process. So me losing a physical function is a loss. Me getting heartbroken is a loss. If my dog dies, that is a loss. If I've had clients that I've done really well with still leave me, that's a loss. That's gonna hurt. Not as bad as like heartbreak, because heartbreak will put you in the same type of like chemical withdrawal as if you were withdrawing from heroin. It sucks, but that's what the body does, because that's separation anxiety. So once we allow ourselves to feel that suck, what we need to do then is start self-reflecting on what went wrong. So if you started a clothing store, first of all, from a marketing point of view, that's awful because you can't differentiate clothing. So if you started a clothing store and that failed, well, don't just because that failed doesn't mean that you shouldn't try again. I've been trying to work for myself since 2016, and to this day I still do. My first company, Black Tip Marketing, that went nowhere. Now with service marketing, that's going somewhere to the point where now I'm able to try to start like a coaching business on the side. So I'm filming YouTube videos now because I didn't stop just because it didn't work out. I kept learning new skills so that way I could look at the problems I was having, I could find ways to get around them, and my results get better every time. So for you then, if it comes down to your first store didn't work and now you want to sell microphones, for example, well, microphones are a lot easier to sell. Once you understand market sophistication and market sophistication, and there's another one that I'm forgetting. Basically, in order, you can sell this because you can make it stand out. All you have to do is talk about how this microphone will record audio for YouTube videos much better than everybody else. All right? That's going to be the third stage of market sophistication. These people are solution aware, meaning they know the problem is they want to film YouTube videos, but they don't know how to get the best audio quality. But they know that there are professional microphones out there that they can buy on Amazon. Now they're just looking for what's the best microphone that they should spend money on. So if your microphone gives them the best quality sound, you have to explain how it does that so people can see why yours is better than everyone else. Can you see the fucking marketing genius coming out of me? Told you, you've been doing this for a while. Now, if you got broken up with, all right, now it's women break up with men 70 to 80% of the time. So men, unfortunately, go through heartbreak more than women do, and I believe, Andrew Tate said this, and I fully agree with him, men learn from pain. And I completely agree with that, bro. It absolutely sucks. But people, there's psychology behind this. People will do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. That is why when you go through a heartbreak, that fucking hurts. So what are you going to do? In my case, I went out and studied attraction and attachment styles. I studied different relationship coaches and I'm learning, masculine and feminine roles and the polarity between them. Learning what I used to do in my relationships and what I should be doing if I want to maintain a healthier relationship and also find a healthier partner that's actually emotionally available. So what I did is I allowed myself to self-reflect on my relationship as a whole. I looked at what I did wrong, what she did wrong, and then, if I did that wrong and she behaved that way, I don't like that. I need to go and find something that's going to teach me how to either become a better version of myself or how to teach myself how to stay away from these types of women. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So in that case then, my life sucks because I'm going through a breakup. But again, nobody fucking cares, okay? So in this case, if I want to participate in my own rescue, I'm going to go and study coaches, read books, listen to audiobooks, take courses about how attraction between men and women work and attachment style so I can understand in a long-term relationship why my partner is now behaving completely differently. So that way in my next relationship, I'm aware, I'm going to be able to look at I'm going to have that experience. I'm going to know what to look for. Okay? That's why I would argue that if you allow yourself to do that, your relationship is either going to be with the same person who broke up with you or the next person. But regardless, it's going to be much better this time around as long as you have worked on yourself. So in that case then, if life gets tough, all you got to do is, this takes time, but allow yourself to feel that pain, self-reflect, go out and learn, and then eventually the universe is going to put that new girl in your life exactly when she needs to be. And that relationship is going to fucking flourish. In the case of business, just because something didn't work one time doesn't mean you should stop. If you want to be an entrepreneur, Keep trying, okay? You have to get good at rejection, especially if you want to own like a marketing agency, for example. Everyone and their mother wants to own a marketing agency. So you're not going to hear from people. You're going to get told to fuck off, which I've never had, thankfully. But you're going to get told things like unsubscribe or leave me alone. But eventually, when you keep trying, you're going to land that client, and that's going to bring you the momentum you need to want to keep going. So you're taking your life from just being terrible right now, and you're pushing through that pain, and you're learning to become a better person. So at the end of the tunnel, whatever it is that you're looking for is going to come to you. Now, in the case of a physical disability, I still don't have my legs back. But I've still dated girls. I've still been with girls. So if you can get what I'm going at here, people ask me all the time, can you still do that? Yes, you can. Okay? Dating in a wheelchair is not harder than it was able-bodied when you understand that attraction isn't a choice. Doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair or not. If that girl likes you, she's going to like you, okay? So because I know that, that hasn't stopped me from going out and being able to approach any fucking woman I want and get her name and seeing where the conversation goes. I don't care how hot a girl is. I don't care how hot a girl is. She could be a fucking 12 out of 10, and I'll still go up to her and talk to her. I still will, okay? Because I've given myself the chance to learn that rejection's not that bad. I am not the person that's going to quit when something gets hard. I'm going to keep going, and I'm eventually going to figure out how to make it easier. This is what an alpha male does, okay? If my life sucks right now, an alpha male, I'm not just going to sit around and mope and cry and be depressed and hope girls eventually come to me like a fucking beta male would. No, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to live the best life that I can. And I want you to listen to how I'm talking in this video so you can see how fired up I am when I'm talking about this. If your life sucks, bro, do something to make it better. That's going to bring you to the end of the video then when I say this. If you are a guy that is looking on how to get better at relationships and dating in general, if you see a link in the description, my new book is available for you to get. This is the book on Modern Man's Guide to Dating, my 29 years of experience and learning from other successful coaches. So that way now you can learn how to approach women, how to talk to them, how to tell if she's interested, how to tell if she's not interested, how to keep a long-term relationship, the difference between masculine and feminine polarities, and then also some other psychological principles such as men are like dogs, women are like cats, so you can understand how men think and how women think and how you need to behave in order to date, hook up with, or be in a relationship with the girl. Again, that book, if the link is in the description, will be available. Not only that, if you want to work on me, if you want to work with me in a one-on-one coaching environment so we can really turn you into the man that you need to be, or woman too, I focus on personal development, mindset, confidence, and life mastery, whether that's personal or career or business related. If there's a link down below, that means my coaching is available for you to join. And with that being said, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.